Hi, everyone. So let's do a reading today for what are you manifesting? I like to do these readings about once a week just to check in on the energy of what we are manifesting because we are all always manifesting whether we know it or not. And so for those of you who are intentionally manifesting, this is a good opportunity to see if those manifestations are coming in. But for those of us who have no idea that we are manifesting, it's good to just check to see what those things are in case we need to pivot in some way. So I'm going to start with a tea leaf card to try to get your current energy. And then I have a tarot deck here. Oh, so harp popped out with great happiness. So we'll keep that, but we'll get another one too. Then I'll use the tarot to do the rest of the spread, and then we'll see if we need any more clarifiers later. Underneath the deck, we have wealth, so that could be an interesting part of the reading too. But this says casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. So what I'm getting from this is something is coming to an end that's going to bring you great happiness, that the ending of this thing was probably a long time coming, and it's going to bring you a wealth of happiness. That's what I'm getting so far. But it feels like because this is your current energy, it feels like there's something coming to an end right now. So it may be something that you're already aware is starting to come to an end. But let's see what the tarot cards want to tell us too. The energy around does feel like it's moving and that there's magical things happen. Like this would be a really powerful time to manifest something. So if you are intentionally manifesting, then it feels like a good energy to do that. So there's the Fool, Death, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Underneath, Nine of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. That's that energy. I was feeling like something's moving, and that's exactly what that wheel, the energy of the wheel, is giving. Knight of Wands, the Moon, Justice, and underneath everything we have the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is a card of cooperation. It's about working together. But what this is also giving me is not just a sense of you cooperating with someone or perhaps a work space or something you're working on, but this is giving me a feeling of to make sure you're concentrating on the achievements you've already reached. So that's for someone. There is a strong message about making sure you look back on what you've already accomplished with this Three of Pentacles, because the Three of Pentacles means a lot of work has already gone into something that you're at the point where you have to start delegating it to other people, because the Three of Pentacles can also be a card of delegation where it's, I have so much on my plate, I need help now. And so now you have people to help you because of the milestones you've already reached is what I have. So, but again, we're in this energy where something is ending in your life. Something's coming to an end. So maybe it is that you're handing it off to someone else. You're passing the torch on to someone else, or you're just delegating a lot of your old responsibilities onto someone else. But it looks like even though this thing is coming to an end because we have casket and we have death, certainly something is coming to a close. Something is wrapping up in your life. But it looks like with the Fool here in your challenge position that it may be that you're struggling to either start something new, maybe you're struggling to know what to do differently, or maybe you're just not really in a mood to take a chance on something else right now. But what I'm getting from this is to really kind of surrender to this idea that there's something new out there right in front of you, and you might be procrastinating starting that new thing because it feels to me like you might think it's too risky to take that jump. So, or it's a fear of failure or something like that, that you're not doing something that you're really being called to do because you feel like you might fail or it's too risky. but something is coming to an end. It looks like you've handed it off to someone else and now you're ready to start something new, but it looks like you're not really ready to do that. So that's kind of our overall energy that's coming through. But your subconsciousness is very clear that this has come to a complete end. And so I feel like your subconsciousness is going to be the thing that triggers you to take this leap. So even if you're not really sure why you're taking this leap, it feels like you're going to. And what's really cool about this is your very future energy is the 9 of Cups. So what this is telling me is that right around the corner, you're going to get something that you wished for, something that you're manifesting, and that's the spread that we're working on. You look like a very hard worker to me with this Knight of Pentacles, which makes sense with the 3 of Pentacles because you've been working on some kind of a project, most likely, that you're now wrapping up, handing off. Make that make sense for you. But you've been so loyal to it. You've been so reliable to it. You woke up every day and you did that thing. And so I feel like that's the theory. It just feels like you're having trouble letting go of it, even though you know it's time. But in the position of what are you manifesting, we're getting the Queen of Pentacles. And so this Queen of Pentacles is really saying that you're manifesting in the perfect person to take over for you. So where you were the Knight of Bricks, you were doing it, you were showing up every day, you were making everything perfect, you were crossing the T's and dotting the I's and getting this all lined up for whatever it is that you were getting ready to pass on. You've manifested in the perfect person to do it, or you are manifesting in the perfect person to do it. The Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles are very like-minded individuals. This is someone who's going to love and nurture whatever this thing was as much as you did. And so it does have this feeling that you're going to feel safe and confident to pass this off to someone else. And that may be the wish that's coming true. Maybe you wished that there would be a person around you that you know you can trust with whatever this is that you're trying to hand off. But you do see yourself as moving. That's that movement I could feel in the energy, that you know there's something coming for you. You know there's something bigger for you, which is why you've got to let this thing go. This thing that you built is now ready for someone else, and you're ready for something bigger. And you can feel that coming. And that's why you're sitting here in this Fool energy saying, I know it's in front of me, but I'm really afraid to just take that leap. And there is someone in your environment here. So there are 2 people, and I believe these are 2 different people in your environment. There is a Knight of Wands who's right around you. And this feels like it's connected with this Fool energy. There's someone around you who you have a very close bond with. So for example, if this is a business person, you've been wanting to hire someone to take over your small business because you want to be able to travel more, let's say. That's just a random example. But you're finding the right person, you're manifesting the right person to take over that business so that you can be free to travel the world with someone where it feels more intimate. This feels like a more intimate connection to you, someone that you are bonded with, someone that you can confide in. That's the feeling, that this may be the person who's going to help you take that leap and let this go. In your shadow position is the Moon, and it's a really interesting position to be in the shadow position because it is a shadow card. It is about doing your shadow work. And so there is a strong sense here that you want to do it, but you don't want to do it. You want to take the leap, but you don't want to take the leap. And there is a need here then to do some shadow alchemy where you really try to empower yourself and use these fears to let go, to really use this opportunity to face those fears because you are in the mood to face those fears, but you know that they are fears. And that's what this death in your subconscious is going to be really helpful, because your subconsciousness is going to drive you to leave this behind so that you can start the new thing. And your potential outcome is justice. It's putting a total balance on the whole situation. It's making sure that your life is balanced, that you have a work-family balance. So if this was a work situation where you have to delegate and let someone do it so you can spend more time with your family, this Knight of Wands could be a family member. It could represent your children. Make it make sense for you. But it's this idea that you're balancing out your life so you don't have to focus on this one thing. Someone's coming in that you can trust to do it so that you can take the leap with this Knight of Wands, whatever that is for you. So, okay, so let's get some more tarot. I'd like to see more energy about you, maybe what you should focus on, what your challenges might be, and maybe a little more advice. So you're coming through as the King of Pentacles. So again, this is the person who's so focused on their business, so focused on the bag, the thing that they put their blood, sweat, and tears into, just trying to make this thing happen. And it's all happening, but it's taken over your life, it feels like. So there is a need again to pass this on. So now there's a King and Queen and a Knight of Pentacles here, which again is confirming to me that whoever this business partner is, or the person you're hiring to take over, or the person you're hiring to step in while you're gone, is a very like-minded individual, someone who is going to nurture that business the same way that you would. So let's see what other cards want to come out. Let me shuffle that again. That didn't feel right. Okay. So there's the Five of Swords, Four of Pentacles, and the Emperor. And underneath the deck, there's that Moon card again. That's that shadow aspect where we're saying to do some shadow alchemy, to really capitalize on that you're in the mood to face fears right now. So capitalize on that. You're being asked to focus on the conflicts, the inner conflicts that you're having with yourself right now, because you know you're spending too much time at work and not enough at home. And again, that's a random example. So make the situation work for you. But that's what's coming through strongly, is you know you're conflicted about this right now because you want to do both, but you're realizing that you cannot. And that is the challenge with the Four of Pentacles, is letting go. The challenge is letting go of this baby that you built here, whatever this is for you, this business, this project, this make it make sense for you, the thing that's taking up too much of your time. Let it go and let this person take over. They don't have to take over forever, but they can take over long enough for you to get the balance and the justice that your life needs, and the justice that whoever this Knight of Wands represents, the justice they need. And so the advice is that you're still the Emperor. You still have all the power and the discipline in this situation. You're still in charge of both of these things, but it's okay to delegate. You can still be in charge while delegating to someone else. So let's get some big picture oracle cards. But I believe that is what you're manifesting. You're manifesting in someone who you're going to really trust very much with whatever this is. So there's the bouquet, the snake, and the safe. So, and underneath everything is the bed. This is definitely a time for you to take a vacation or a break from whatever this is. And I can see it because the snake right in the middle, that's your temptation. You're being tempted to be attached to this thing instead of letting it go. And I think there's a strong spiritual lesson here with the bouquet card, that the lesson here is to let go of things and learn to trust other people with your projects, with your baby, whatever this is. Learn to trust, because that person who's coming in is going to be the thing that you can trust it with. And then the safe here is saying the same thing, that your business is going to be safe. You can take a 2-week vacation. You can go travel the world for a few months, whatever it is this means to you. Spend time with your family. And this is going to be okay. Everything is protected here. But this here with the snake and the Four of Pentacles is very strongly saying to let go of these attachments. These attachments are not healthy. And that's what the bed card is saying too. These attachments are not healthy. This needs to be healed so that you can allow the other parts of your life, the more intimate parts of your life, to come in. So let's do a couple of Moonology cards, because we pulled the moon twice. And so I'm feeling like we should be working with the energy of the moon. So we have first quarter moon in Leo with Be Humble, and new moon in Aries with Go For It. So those are both very fiery energies. And we also have the last quarter moon in Aries with Work Through Your Feelings. So yes, leaving this in someone else's hands, if you're feeling like you want to control it, if you're a perfectionist about your business or this project, there is a need to work through those feelings of being able to just let it go long enough to trust this person. And this is saying, go for it. This moon is reminding you to take that leap that you're afraid to do, whatever that is for you, that you know you're being called to do, but you feel like it's too scary or it's going to be a failure or those types of feelings. And then the first quarter moon in Leo is just reminding us to remain humble, because all of this situation, you have a lot to be proud of. You have two separate, what looks like empires here, one business and one which is more personal. And to really kind of look towards the moon to be grateful for the things that you have made for yourself. That was one of the first things I said when I sat down, was to celebrate the milestones that you've already reached and do it humbly, which it feels like you are. So finally, let's get one chakra card. Oh, the sacral with gregarious wanted to pop out. So that's good. That makes me feel like you're a strong people person, and that you might be able to have a strong bond also with this business person you're manifesting. Then we have heal your heart with boastful. So what this is really telling me, especially coming in with be humble, is that it may be that you think you're the only person who can do this. And it's natural to feel that way when you've created things from the ground up. And so it's difficult to allow other people to take over or to help in some capacity. So the boastful and the be humble isn't saying to me that you are boastful or that you're not humble, but there is an inner feeling in you that there will never be anyone who could do it quite the way you do. This is saying that there's someone in here who's totally going to get you, and you're manifesting that person in it because it's exactly what you asked for. So, but because we have the Heal Your Heart coming out, I would like to offer you a free Reiki healing for your heart chakra. I'm going to link one in the description and in the pinned comment. So that's yours. You can have it anytime. If you feel like you just want to work on your heart chakra so that you can address some of these situations, if this was your reading, if it resonated for you. But also in the Raise Your Vibe in 5 book, there is a whole section for the heart chakra. And I just kind of flipped open to a random page, but this is a page that deals specifically with the heart chakra. And the exercise for the day here says drink green tea if you're able to. So if you are able to drink green tea, it would be a great time to have a cup of green tea. If you can have one right now, that would be great, because it really is very good for your heart chakra, green tea. But also, if you're interested in that free Reiki healing, just look for it in the description and in the pinned comments. That is yours. You can use it anytime you want. So that is your What Are You Manifesting reading. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? And please consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.